Today, we're continuing with my series, Happy Intentional Holidays. This series is all about the intentional steps we can take to have our holidays be a little happier. We're taking a look at how we can shift away from holiday stress and overwhelm and move towards holiday calm and enjoyment. Today, we're getting into the fourth part of this 6-part series. We're looking at protecting our time. Interested in learning more? Stay right there. Well, hey there and welcome back. I'm Alicia from Alicia Cohen Designs, where I teach intentional productivity and planning tips and strategies for increasing peace and calm in our lives while also being able to focus on what matters most. If you're new to my channel, would you please do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button? It means a lot to me and helps support my channel. And as I always say, it's just really nice to know that I have supporters out there who are interested in what I have to share. So please give that subscribe button a tapola. And now let's get to our topic. For part 4, we're going to focus on protecting our time during the holidays. So let's start to take a look at protecting our time during the holidays. So during the holidays, there's a lot going on, right? There's all sorts of things that we can take care of and participate in, and just generally, there can be a lot going on. And as I always say, if that works for you and doesn't stress you out, then go for it. And you also probably don't need to be listening to this video. However, if you're looking for a way to not just be running around and going nuts during the holiday season, then there are some things that we can take a look at to help ourselves get to the place of more enjoyment and more peace and more calm and being able to focus on what matters most during the holidays. So one of the ways that we're doing this is by looking today at protecting our time. So protecting our time, it's important, I feel, during the holidays and really all the time to be aware of just how much we are saying yes to. But during the holidays, it's especially important to think about because this time of year, we already have our usual stuff going on, whatever is part of the usual daily life. But then on top of this, during the holiday season, we add in all this extra fun stuff because, well, it's fun. And I also think, though, it's worth stating the obvious here that we don't get any extra time during the holidays, right? It's still just the same 24 hours, but now we're trying to cram in more to those 24 hours than we do the rest of the year. So it's just wise, I think, to take a look at protecting our time and being intentional about this. In an earlier part of this series, I talked about choosing between good and good, which is definitely related to this topic of protecting our time. Today's topic is definitely a close relative and has a bit of overlap with choosing between good and good, but I still think that protecting our time is significant enough to get its own part in this series. But be sure to check out the previous part of choosing between good and good, which I will link to over there in the cards. Again, take a listen to that as it's an important precursor to what we're looking at here today. Okay, but for this video with protecting our time, not only do we need to make some choices between good and good, we need to make sure that what we have chosen to take on actually fits in our life in the 24 hours that we're given each day. So maybe that means temporarily some things have to get put on the back burner, or some things need to be let go of temporarily so that we can make some space and some time for these holiday things. So this what fits in 24 hours thing is really, though, a prerequisite for protecting our time, because sure, we can still protect our time if our calendar and to-do list are completely overloaded, but protecting our time isn't going to do much good for our stress level if the fact of the matter is that our calendar and to-do list are just way too jammed full of stuff. Okay, we'll continue with our content in just a moment, but before we get back to that, if you haven't already, would you please hit that subscribe button? As I like to say, subscribing is kind of like the gasoline for my channel. It keeps things running around here, so help keep this puppy running and subscribe. Okay, back we go. So step 1 here, or like the prerequisite, as I said, with protecting our time is making sure that what we are taking on in our calendar and in our to-do list actually fit. So again, look at what might need to get let go of temporarily to make sure that what you are doing is actually feasible. But then step 2 of this protecting of our time thing. So when something comes up that's new that you can do, or even that's old, maybe it's a tradition or whatever, run it through the filter of, am I really able to freely and realistically say yes to this thing? Because remember, whether you've heard it from me, heard it elsewhere, or both, that by saying yes to something, we are by default saying no to something else. So be mindful of, be intentional with this concept for sure. So let's say someone invites you to a holiday party. Do you have time to take that on and add that in? Maybe yes, maybe no. But think about needing to protect your time, because by protecting your time, you're also going to be protecting that holiday peace and calm and enjoyment that I know I'm seeking. And I'm thinking that if you're watching this video, you're probably seeking that too. So if it's helpful for you, associate this protection of our time concept with the image of a watchdog or a gatekeeper or a guardian. Think of that person or animal right there with your calendar and to-do list, guarding them, watching them. None shall pass. Now check in with your calendar and to-do list watchdog. Rocco. Fluffy. I mean, whatever floats your boat. As long as if you choose Fluffy, that Fluffy is a squishy teddy bear of a dog, except when it comes to your calendar and your to-do list. And then she brings her A game. Yeah. But seriously, let's make sure that we're thoughtfully considering what we are allowing onto our calendar and also what we're not allowing onto our calendar. So in my own life, how do I protect my time? I'll give you a calendar example and then I'll give you a to-do list example. So the calendar example, we have some extended family members who are in an a cappella group. So cool, right? It's really fun to go hear them perform, and we usually go hear them perform during the holiday season. So let's say they're performing on a weekend, which is usually when we would go see them. Well, then the rest of the weekend, we probably won't do too much. We probably won't also make other social plans, because it's fun to go see the performance, and then it's also fun and healthy and necessary to have some downtime, to have some time to rest. This is a very intentional way we choose in our household to approach our calendar for everyone's sanity and well-being. Now, just because we typically do one main event or one social thing per weekend doesn't mean that that is the magic formula for you. You do you. If you need to do less, like every other weekend or something, do it. If you need to do more and you can do this well and in a way where you're also building in sufficient time for rest, do it. What matters is being aware and being intentional and how it feels in your own household. The specifics or doing exactly what I do or whatever are less important. So now the to-do list example. I know that lots of people send Christmas cards, but we are not Christmas card sending people. Now, we are appreciative of all the people who don't receive Christmas cards from us because we don't send them, but continue to send us Christmas cards year after year anyway. And if you're one of those people, thank you. Really. We like receiving your cards. It's fun. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. But as I'll explain here in a moment, it's just not our thing. So for me, sending out Christmas cards would just be a chore. I don't like doing it. So because of this, even though sometimes I feel like I should send out Christmas cards, we should send out Christmas cards, I resist the temptation to give into this pressure. Now, I have a dear friend. She loves sending out Christmas cards. She says it brings her joy. This is awesome. So for her, it brings her joy. And if she has the bandwidth to do it, then I say definitely go for it. In fact, when she told me that sending out Christmas cards brought her joy, I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh wait, Christmas cards aren't a chore for everyone? Well, imagine that, right? So anyway, she loves sending out Christmas cards. I don't. It brings her joy. It doesn't for me. So sending Christmas cards is one of those holiday tasks that I choose to pass on in the interest of protecting my time and also my sanity. So that's just what I do. That's what works for me. But again, if you're one of those people out there who send us Christmas cards, really, thank you. We do really like receiving your cards, especially because you continue to send them and we don't send them to you. So thank you. Okay, so that about wraps us up for part 4. Just make sure you have Rocco or Fluffy or whomever on high alert for the holidays to guard your calendar and your to-do list from any and all unnecessary intruders. Now, before we go, I want to make sure that you grab my freebie. If you check out the description below, there's a link for my Happy Intentional Holidays little mini workbook that I made. It's free. Go down there, click the link, sign up. It'll get sent to your email. It's just a few pages. Like I said, it's a mini little workbook, and it'll take you through just a few questions and exercises to really help bring the intentionality to your holiday season, to pursue that happiness for your holiday season. So if you want to dive in a little bit deeper and you really want to go after this happy intentional holiday thing, again, go down to the description, click the link, and you'll be on your way to downloading my mini workbook. As always, thanks so much for spending this time with me. Be on the lookout for part 5 of this series coming at you soon. And as always, my parting encouragement, remember that when it comes to figuring out planning and productivity that creates the life that you want to have, being intentional plus not giving up means that you're going to get there. All right. Catch you next time. Take good care.